Hey mom, today was a normal day at school, and that normalcy kept bringing me back to the idea of useful fiction. A useful fiction is a belief or assumption that cannot be proven as objectively true, yet is treated as true because it helps people coordinate, behave predictably, and function together with less friction. Its strength is practical rather than factual. It holds not because it's indisputable, but because enough people agree to act as if it holds. Religion is the most familiar example, but the classroom reveals how deeply this idea is embedded in everyday life. The classroom operates almost entirely on shared assumptions that no one stops to interrogate. Students sit where they are told, raise their hands to speak, follow schedules, and accept that certain tasks matter more than others. None of these rules have inherent meaning outside the system. A worksheet is just a piece of paper. A bell is just a sound. Yet when everyone treats these signals as meaningful, they organize behavior efficiently. The day moves forward because these assumptions are accepted without constant justification. What looks like discipline or routine is really agreement in action. This agreement creates stability. The predictability of a school day doesn't come from rigidity, but shared expectations. When students know what comes next and what's expected of them, they expend less energy deciding how to behave. That freed attention can be directed toward learning, interaction, and problem solving. Stability lowers cognitive load and it narrows the range of possibilities so that action becomes easier. The calm of a normal day is the result of many invisible beliefs doing quiet work in the background. Seeing this makes it easier to understand why larger systems depend so heavily on narratives, traditions, and norms. Money, time, grades, laws, and roles all function the same way. They're not physically real in the way objects are real, yet they shape behavior more powerfully than most physical constraints. Their usefulness comes from coordination. They allow strangers to cooperate, institutions to persist, and daily life to remain manageable. The classroom is a compressed version of this dynamic. There's also a personal layer to this realization. Useful fictions are often inherited without much reflection, but they can be chosen deliberately. Recognizing that a belief is useful rather than provably true creates agency. Recognizing that a belief is useful rather than provably true creates room for choice. It becomes possible to evaluate assumptions based on whether they help or hinder forward movement. This is especially relevant in situations where certainty is unavailable. Many decisions don't come with complete information, and waiting for proof often leads to stagnation. Adopting a functional belief can provide direction even when the foundation is incomplete. Believing that effort matters, that consistency pays off, or that responsibility is worth taking on may not be verifiable in every instance. But still, acting under these assumptions tends to produce more coherent behavior over time. They make it easier to commit to action rather than remain stuck evaluating possibilities. Choosing a useful fiction intentionally shifts the focus from being correct to being effective. It allows beliefs to be held with awareness instead of blind faith. When a belief stops producing stability or progress, it can be revised rather than defended. That flexibility is only possible when usefulness, not truth, is the primary metric. I ate Labi-san with rice for dinner with a koi fish, and that was it for my day. Okay, love you. Bye.